Hello friends, welcome back to Serenity Hill Farmstead. I'm Jen, and it is now, when you're seeing this, Wednesday. It is, what is it? August something, 23rd, I think, 24th, something like that. Where's my pan? Well, there you are. Who would have thought it'd be clean in the dishwasher? So today is a Wednesday, and I thought we should have a Wellness at Wednesday update. The last time I did a Wellness Wednesday update was a few weeks ago, 2 or 3, I can't even remember now. And I had talked to you guys about doing AIP, that the inflammation in my body was just crazy out of control, and I really needed to get a handle of that, and the weight loss thing was going to have to take a back seat to getting the inflammation under control. Still true, still happening. However, we had a bad storm come through. If you guys follow and watch the videos consistently, you've seen this, heard this. This is not new news. We were very lucky. We did not get significant damage, but we had no power for 3 days. And when you are on AIP, you need to cook a lot and eat fresh things. We have a generator, but it is not a generator that can run our whole house. It is a little generator that can get our refrigerator, and we have a chest freezer right next to it, little 5 cubic foot, and maybe like a fan going or 2, little things like that. So I did not cook inside my house. We do have a cook stove, and it is propane, and I did cook meals for my family, but there was just not, I really didn't want to waste the propane, and there really was not time for me to be there at that cook stove so many times for multiple meals. I'm like, look, we're gonna eat what there is to eat, and that's exactly what I did. I did not stay AIP. Now, any kind of snacking that I did, I grabbed fruit, but I really did not have the ability to stay true to my AIP diet. And from there, it's been downhill. Let's move over here, shall we? So, it's been really hard to get back on track, to be perfectly honest. And I hope you guys don't mind all the background noise, but it's canning season, and my house is in a perpetual state of chaos during canning season. You still got the dehydrator going. I've got a pile of okra here. I've got a pile of okra over there. I've still got, oh shoot, I forgot about that, a big basket of herbs that I need to get to, and I've got ferments going. I've got all of the things happening right now. And I have a whole bunch of green beans right here that I was going to pressure can today. And you know, those freeze, and I want to save these jars for as much of the tomato products as I can. So I think we'll just freeze those for the sake of time, energy, and effort, and saving cans. They're gonna go in the freezer. So I got my water boiling, or gonna get to boiling here, while I get some dinner going, which I will share with you my AIP dinner for tonight, and we'll get all that going. But it is not my normal sit down kind of video because I just don't have the time for that right now. So if you can bear with me for the next month or so, videos might look like this. They might be me kind of all over the place, kind of doing all of the different things all at the same time, because that was loud. Because if I don't, there will be no videos, and we don't want that. YouTube is fun for me, and I like making videos, and I like talking to you all, and I want to keep going with it. So this is what we have. It is Jen on the move today. So anyway, I was talking to my friend, and we talked about wellness, diets, trying to get into better eating habits, and it's really hard when you're busy all the time and when you have this constant kind of chaos. For me, I've got the garden and the canning, and we've already started homeschool. We've been going for almost a month now, and we're managing 2 homesteads, and it's just time consuming. So, and when you're busy doing all of the things, when you're super busy doing all of the things, I don't know about you, but I tend to grab the closest thing to my mouth and eat it and call it a meal, which is not healthy. because those things tend to be whatever's in my pantry. Quick, convenient, not super healthy meals. I don't buy pre-made meals. Typically, it's a very, very rare thing. But the quick throw together stuff is just not as nutrient dense and definitely not AIP approved stuff. Maybe components of it are, but really not altogether AIP approved. So it is important, and I'm not making it a priority, which is hard during this time. So yes, it's hard. It's hard, it's time consuming, it is blah, 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 all of those things. But it is just that, you know, it's blah, blah, blah. It's excuses. It's excuses. I can call it whatever I want. It's excuses. It's what it is. So here's what I need to do. I need to food prep. I need to prep. I need to do, excuse my hand, I need to do all of those things. I need to get myself prepared in a way that the quick grab and eat, shove into my mouth things are the healthy options. Out of curiosity, I did weigh myself. And my weight has not budged. It hasn't moved an inch. So, I mean, overall, since I started this whole fit after 40 thing, I am down weight, but I'm not really moving. I'm just kind of doing the up and down thing. Exercise-wise, I'm still not doing a formal exercise because, again, I've been super busy. I have been, guess those aren't thought enough. What I have been doing is going for some walks with my kids every night. I pick a kid or they pick me. They just kind of go with me and we go for a walk. So I've done that the last few nights, and that's kind of been a nice way to kind of just de-stress too. So now we're going to talk about food. I did get a couple messages from a couple different people about food, about if I could share how I'm eating on AIP. So AIP, for anybody that is new, there we go, that's boiling. So now we're going to blanch these green beans here for 8 minutes and then cool them fast and then put them in freezer bags. Okay, so back to AIP. AIP is autoimmune paleo. It is paleo minus any and all inflammatory foods, or any and all foods that have the possibility of being inflammatory. So here's the thing on AIP. Everybody has different triggers to what causes inflammation in their body. Some people have, what's it called? Dairy sensitivity. Some people have meat sensitivity. Some people have grain sensitivities. Some people have more sensitivities with proteins than others do. Some people have different sensitivities with any vegetable in the nightshade family. It really just depends on your body. So there are certain things that you do, oh, timer. There are certain things that you do to basically reset your body, and that is completely getting rid of any and all inflammatory foods. Now, AIP is not a new diet for me, so when I go on AIP, I know what certain foods are at what they call, like, you know, your baseline, where you're not taking in any inflammatory foods. I can go kind of a step up from there and I can add a couple of those foods. I know eggs do not cause inflammation for me, and coffee I'm okay with, thank the Lord, and a couple other things that I can't think of off the top of my head right now because I'm multitasking. So I'm just happy I'm getting full sentences out while I'm doing this. We need butter. Butter, that is another thing that I know I can have. Butter. But I do Kerrygold butter because this is grass-fed beef. So grain, I can be sensitive to. Can be. Not all the time, but I can be. It really depends on the grain and it depends how much. So really, gluten in a lot of people, the thing is, it's like a glue inside your digestive tract. So the more you have, the more of a buildup you have. This is the way it was explained to me by my son's GI doctor. And even though you may not have a true allergy to any kind of grain, you can still be very sensitive to it. So people that tend to have inflammatory issues, they don't want to ever be taking in grains. I do not follow that. I like my bread, I like sourdough, I like the healthy grains, I like grains. I like bread. I like to be able to pull a, zucchini out of my garden and make a bread with it and enjoy it with my family. Right, Caleb? Zucchini bread.
Yes.
See? We want to be able to enjoy that together. Where was I? Distractions. Fresh rosemary. So good. So, let's talk about this recipe. We went out and picked the entire garden this morning. Caleb, you helped, right?
Yes, you picked the entire garden.
Was it fun? We picked the entire garden. We got everything done.
No, it wasn't.
You kind of were on and off, but you still helped. What'd you pick? You picked green beans, peppers? Yeah. So, this is thyme. This is one of the bundles of thyme. I have not harvested bundles of thyme. I have not picked it in quite some time, so there was a lot to harvest. Rosemary also. This is my favorite smell of all the herbs. It is my favorite. I picked sage, the purple sage, the variegated sage, all the different things, because picking that stuff out of my garden makes me excited to use all of these things from my garden. Tonight, we have venison steak. Now, this is not something that I should be eating on AIP, but I will tell you, it is very hard to live the way we live and still be able to compliantly, 100% compliantly stay on AIP. This does not want to separate, man. Well, it'll separate when it's cooking, I suppose. It's just not totally doable because we hunt and we live in Illinois, where there's more corn than any people you will ever find in this state. And our cows are corn fed. They're soy fed. They roam through the corn fields and soy fields and they eat. And they are GMO crops, unfortunately. Those crops are sprayed. They still eat them. And then we eat them. So as a rule of thumb, you know, you've heard the phrase, you are what you eat. When it comes to AIP, that is especially true. I mean, it's true in any diet, but it is especially true with AIP. If you eat grain-fed animals, you are eating the grain. So, but because our lifestyle is our lifestyle, I am still going to eat, okay, I hear you. I am still going to eat the deer. Still gonna do it. We need some cold water here. Let's get some cold water for these beans because they're done blanching. I'm still eating them. I'm not gonna not eat them. My husband puts in a lot of work to not just hunt the deer, but process the deer and put it all up and cut it to my specifications with my brother-in-law. And I'm not going to not eat it. That would be rude. But that is a lot of meat. The bulk of our red meat comes from that and from a local farmer, primarily. That is our lifestyle, and that is still way healthier than anything I'm going to buy in the store. The other thing, grass-fed beef, there are a lot of farms that will raise them on pasture, but they will finish them with grain. So you really need to find grass-fed, grass-finished. Harder to do. So I would rather have the venison, because as a whole, it is a healthier meat than beef. And if you know how to cook it right, it's tastier. So tonight what I'm doing, and I'll show you in just a minute, after I get these green beans plunged into this cool-ish water. I should get some ice. Get some ice in this too. We are doing a homestead meal. I love these kinds of meals. These make me excited to cook after I've been working my butt off all day, and I'll show you what I've been doing today. It's a little longer of a Wellness Wednesday because I don't have it scripted. I script my videos so that I stay on track. And by script I mean I make kind of an outline of what I want to talk about, And I make little bullet points on there so that I stay on track and don't get all rabbit traily, which I'm currently doing because I have no script. So a little bit of a evening cooking with me and a wellness chat, I guess we can call it that. But I've been working all day. We worked in the garden this morning until almost 11. And then we ate lunch, which was not AIP approved. And we did homeschool. We finished homeschool. I did a few loads of laundry. I cleaned some. And then a good friend of ours is moving, and we bought a freezer from them, a deep freezer, which is such an enormous blessing. You have no idea, because our little 5 cubic foot freezer over here, it's full to the brim. And ooh, that's getting hot. We need some cold. Get some cold. We really need that other freezer because we have a quarter cow coming, and this freezer is full of vegetables and a tiny bit of meat. Just a little. But we have a quarter beef coming very soon, and then 4 to hopefully 6 deer in it. Yeah. We needed another freezer. But I had to clean out the porch. I had to clean that out because there was still brooder stuff all over the place, and apparently more chicken dust from when our porch served as our brooder for our chickens. You know, it's the porch. Honestly, it's the porch. You know, if I don't see it, it's out of sight, out of mind, right? So if I'm not looking at it, it is the last thing that I'm going to think of to clean until I walk out of the house and realize, shoot, I really need to clean that. And then I come home and get busy doing other things and forget to clean it. So this gave me some purpose. And our porch is now, I think this is good to pour now. Our porch is now our bee equipment storage and our mudroom and our extra freezer space. It's not a big space at all. It sounds like it's huge and it's got a ton of stuff. It has a ton of stuff, but it's not a huge room. These are the rest of the green beans that were in the pot. I think I'm going to put these back in the pot and cook them up for dinner. Because my family loves green beans. We all love green beans. Except for Caleb. Caleb don't love green beans. Caleb don't love anything green unless it's a flavored ice cream. So let me show you what we got going on. So here's what we've got. Green beans, blanched. I'm going to put them in freezer bags and stick them in the freezer. I've got these green beans that I just showed right here. I'm going to put those aside for dinner tonight. And then this is venison. I sear it the way you do pretty much like a roast. And I season it with, ooh, I forgot the rosemary. With onion. You like my my camera holder here. I season it with my seasonings. I try and get organic, try and keep everything organic. Onion powder, garlic powder, sage, pepper, and salt. And oh, he scared me. A grasshopper. There's now a grasshopper on my light. And some rosemary. So I'll take a few sprigs of this and just kind of crush it up and put it on there. My little grasshopper friend needs to be set free. Hey Caleb! There's a grasshopper in here. He's a baby. Will you come set him free for me? So I seared that and I stuck it in the oven right in the pan. Just took my handle thingy off because it's cast iron. You can do that. 375, and I'm going to do that for 15 minutes. I have to watch it to make sure it's not getting too burnt, and I add more butter. Now butter, the thing about butter, I can have that. You normally can't on AIP, but like I said, I can, and it's totally fine for me. So I tend to season a lot of things with butter. So I do that because A, we like the flavor, B, my family is a lot more cooperative to eat the healthy things when it's got more flavor. While that is cooking, I will take you guys out to the porch and show you what I've been working on today. You've never seen this room. So this is the new freezer. Yes. 10, 15, I don't even know, cubic foot. I don't know, it doesn't say it right on the side, so I don't know. But it's awesome, and I love it. This room, I should stop spinning and make you dizzy. We had remodeled this room and had a heck of a time remodeling this room. The walls were fine, but the door, man, it was so jammed up. The door was a mess. The door was a nightmare, but we got it in. And it's still not finished. I mean, there's like trim stuff. I want to repaint, recaulk in areas and repaint the ceiling, but it is so much brighter and way better than it was. So, this room is like, you can see it's our mud room and kind of our catch-all as people are walking in. We've got this freezer right here, and then I've got storage above here. But all of this, minus this, because this is something I got from my mom that I am turning into a fun garden project eventually. But all of these frames have been frozen. Any repairs that needed to be made were made, and they will be ready for the farm next year for bees. So this is it. This is what I've been working on all day long. The way this was, there was absolutely, I still have one more box, but that's all curriculum and I need to go through it. But I know it does not need to be in my house, so it needs to go. So I need to go through it out here, or else it'll just come back in the house. You know how that goes. But you really, where I'm standing right now, you couldn't even see the floor. This was like a big major undertaking. So to get this done feels really good. I'm really happy I did this. It was this or food prep, but this freezer needed to be here and it needed to be plugged in. It's nice and cold and it's freezing the last of the frames that I needed to freeze. So yay for big projects that I never had time to finish. And I finally get to get that crossed off my list. So I'm excited about it. Projects like these and working in the garden, it just life. I mean, everybody's got their different stuff that comes up in their own different kinds of lives that we all live. Stuff comes up and it's really hard to stay true to your diet and your wellness routines if you've got things constantly coming up. I know I need to do better with that. I mean, I've known it, but talking to another person, talking to a friend that's going through the same thing, it kind of gives you an extra little push, an extra little, I don't know, motivation or something to know there's somebody else there and you just need to do it. So I'm going to try and do better. I'm going to try and get that food prep done. And there's the oven. So I think our time is up for today. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can stay tuned for the next edition of Wellness Wednesday, whenever it may be. Hopefully we'll have some progress the next time. I really hope so. I need to be intentional with it and stop making excuses and start putting myself first. That's all there is to it. It's what I come back to every time. So I hope you guys on your wellness journey are having better luck than I am. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.